So, good morning, good morning, good morning. I'm sure we're early or early-ish. Maybe we're just exactly on time and you're all late. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? So, before we get started, yes, it is Thursday morning. Yes, this is the spirit world sees all. And let me tell you, I've been tested this week with the spirit world. I have been tested like you would not believe. Um, I would like to give you intimate details of how I was tested, but I would be way too embarrassed to tell you. However, the spirit world does see all. They prove it to me again and again and again in lots of different ways. And let me think. And so before we begin our show, first of all, we have to always, as always, say good morning to my spirit guide, Gregor, who's laughing at me. Yeah, I'm not sure I'm finding any of this very funny, but anyway, here I am laughing about it. We have Gregor, who is, as always, standing to my right side. We've got Chris in the behind the screens and behind the whatever it is, doing her facilitating thing. Whatever she does, she always does a good job. And of course, we have all of you guys out there. Good morning, good morning, good morning to all of you. Now, so Chris, is there anybody there before I start talking? Because sometimes I start to talk and then I forget to ask if there's anybody there, and then all that happens is I'm talking to myself rather than to anybody else. Chris, is there anybody there?
There are. They were raring to go today. Some logged in even before you started.
Yay! Well, good morning, good morning. Look, I've got a real treat for you today. It's actually not your treat, it's my treat. I don't know if you've noticed, but I am covered from top to toe almost in butterflies. And I think we should talk a little bit about butterflies today, because the Native Americans, many believe that the butterfly is the symbol of eternal happiness and joy. Not just happiness and joy, but eternal happiness and joy. And I do tend to feel whenever I see a butterfly or when I catch a glimpse of one, and I've got lots and lots of flowers when I look out of my window, so many flowers blooming, and I'm seeing butterflies flitting from flower to flower. And I do think to myself, there is so much within this world of ours to be joyful for. So that's our theme today. We're going to be focusing on joy. We're going to be focusing on happiness. And even if it's really hard, we have to grit our teeth to do it, because I know that some of you are suffering, and I know that some of you are not happy, and I know that many of you have great difficulty struggling to find the joy in life. I know all of that, but we're going to do it anyway, because I'm a very pushy person and I'm in charge. This is my show. This is what we're going to be doing. So as we're talking here, what I would love for you to do, and even if you've never been in the chat room before, if you've watched the show but you've never been in the chat room, I would love to hear from all of you about at least one thing in your lives. And please don't tell me there's nothing, because then you're just being miserable for no reason. I want you to think of at least one thing in your life that you can find, even if it's the teeniest little drop of joy. I want you to write in the chat room and tell me what it is about this life that you're living that is joyful to you, that you personally find joyful. And it can't be me. So you can't say, I'm always joyful, Rosemary, when I see you on the show. This has to be something that is about your life, aside from you know, what we're doing here today. This, you know, no cheating, no using me as the person who's bringing you joy in this moment. I want you to think about what it is in your life which, if someone said to you, what is the most joyful thing in your life? It's right there. And I'm going to start off this. You know what I'm going to say. I'm sure you all know what I'm going to say. But there are two things that give me great, great joy. One is my daughter and one is my grandson. So I've got Samantha, who brings me great joy. I've got Reese Astle, who brings me great joy. Now, I'm going to give you a few other things that give me great joy, because have I had a week this week talking with the spirit world, sometimes about things that, you know, I maybe didn't always feel I should be talking about. But anyway, the spirit world has their way with me. But the joy of seeing people in the spirit world connecting with their loved ones on this side, letting them know absolutely without a doubt that there is life after death. I mean, goodness, that is joy in itself, absolute joy in itself, and being able to do this. And I've no idea why I'm able to do it, or, but you know, we could say that I was chosen. I like to think of it as being picked on. Somebody pointed a finger and said, she'll do. So so whatever it is, I am so joyful for my life and for the things that I'm able to do with my life and the things that I'm able to see and to hear. And I'm also joyful that there are so many people in this world who are with me on this, who want to know more about this stuff. I'm joyful that I'm able to hopefully inspire people to want more out of their lives and to want to know more about how the spirit world ticks, what's going on, and so on. We have not, I know, I promised you we were going to do our thing, whatever that is. I can't even remember what it is now, but anyway, talking about the spirit world, and we are going to be hopefully, we're aiming for January to start our program where you can subscribe and be a part of that program and learn the more intimate deals, or the more not so much intimate even, but the more of the inner workings of how this world of ours and how the spirit world works. And Gradle and I together, because he knows much more than I do, Gradle and I together will be heading up this program. And so if you want to know more about that, just email us, rosemary@rosemaryalaltea.com. We also have coming in the next 10 days, I think, on the 14th of November, we have me and, you know, we have me live in Venice, Florida, at the community center. And you're welcome to just we take in walk-ins. We take anybody, actually. We're not fussy about anybody. But if you'd like to join us, we're at the community center in Venice, Florida, for our weekend. I'm there on Friday night and Saturday morning. Then there are other speakers as well who have great things to say, and I'm sure it's going to be a very interesting weekend. This is not something that I've organized, but I agreed to participate because this is Chris's thing. This is what she does. And so she asked me if I would participate. And of course I said, why not? Why would I miss the opportunity to bring messages from the spirit world to people who are still here with us and probably missing their loved ones in the spirit world, and have lots of questions for people in the spirit world? So we're going to be doing that on the 14th I'll be there Friday night, Saturday morning. The whole event goes until the 16th. So that's sort of Monday to Sunday, I think. Then, of course, look at me going. I keep going. I go, because so much to be joyful for, because on the 13th of December, we're going to be doing another Grey Eagle Speaks. And if you were here last year, it's a once yearly event. If you were joining us last year, boy, oh boy, did it was, I mean, you'd think that I would be the one who says, oh, well, you know, this is what we do. It's normal, it's natural, but no way. I was blown away just as much as, if not more than, the people who were joining in and participating with us. It was the most amazing thing. So if you want to know more about that, you can join us when Grey Eagle speaks, and let me tell you, he has some amazing things to say. And we don't know who else is going to be joining us. I'm keeping my fingers crossed that we have a special teacher joining us, other than Grey Eagle, of course. You never know. You never know what's going to happen, but I'm keeping my fingers crossed. I'm going to be like my grandson. I'm going to be hopeful and keep my fingers crossed that it's going to be a great event. Right, Chris, that should have given people plenty of time to write about their joyful escapades or the things that they have to be joyful of. So, first of all, I did say, is there anybody there? Would you like me to do it in that? Is there anybody there? Yeah, there is. We had a great Halloween night thinking of that. It was really fun with my friend Kay and I, our cracking up show. We did a lot of cracking up. We did a lot of giggling. We did a lot of spookiness. What I forgot to tell people when we were doing that was, and this often happens, my daddy was there with us, my brother was there with us, and they all, you know, and Chris's husband Mike was there with us. There were quite a few people in the spirit world who were there with us. And what they like to do, especially on that one night, is we often have sort of these creepy crawlies going over the carpet, or we have, you know, sort of stuff going on that most people can't see, and it makes me giggle. And I forgot to mention that, but anyway, there was stuff going on that I guess you all couldn't see. But anyway, so we've been having a lot of fun, and there's a lot of stuff coming up, and I'm excited about that. I just would like to mention that my friend Mary Lou, and thank you all, thanks to all of you who've been sending healing to her, is hopefully, I'm keeping my fingers crossed, really keeping my fingers crossed today, because hopefully today is her last go around with chemotherapy. She's doing great. She's looking great. She looks good with no hair. She wore a cap the other day when I saw her, and that looked good. And she's just very determined, and she's very positive. And at the moment, she should be, unless she's asleep and not watching this, she should be having her social time, because she's meeting all of those other people who are in the same situation that she is in. Lots of people having chemotherapy with her, and she's getting to know quite a few people who are going through the same or similar things that she's going through. So I'd like to give a shout out to all of those lovely people. And we're sending lots of healing to you all, and we hope that you're having weirdly, isn't this weird? I'm saying we're hoping you're having a great time with your chemotherapy sessions, because yes, chemotherapy is awful, but the people that you meet and the chances that you get to discover about other people and who they are and how they are, that's a gift in itself. So big shout out to Mary Lou. And again, thank you all. Keep the healing coming, please. Chris, let's go to the chat room.
All right. Well, Annika started right off with a good morning to you and Gray Eagle.
Okay, good morning.
Rhonda quickly followed with, I enjoyed the Halloween story with Kay last week, and the everything is attitude conversation really resonated with me.
Oh, good. I'm glad. Yes, I forgot. We had my co-host Al, and we had on a great guest, a really great guest. If you want to rewatch these programs, you're probably kicking yourself. Oh, I didn't know that was on, or I missed that one, or I was at work when that was on, or whatever. You can go to YouTube and you can access them if you put my name on, and you can see all of the shows that we do, because good old YouTube, what would we do without YouTube? But anyway, good old YouTube has all of these things. So if you watched it and you want to rewatch it, go ahead. If you didn't get to see it, just go to YouTube, put in my name, and these things should all come up and you'll be able to see them again. Okay, keep going, Chris.
Initially, before you even started talking about the butterflies, we had Rhonda say, I love that top. I love the butterflies.
Thank you.
And Annika said the same thing. What a lovely butterfly top you are wearing.
Thank you very, very much. Thank you. I love butterflies. Actually, I'm going to tell you, I got this from Amazon. See, I don't mean to advertise Amazon, but good old Amazon rides to the rescue again. And as soon as I saw this, I just had to have it. And I have a white one in with because it's covered in butterflies as well. And I love them. Anyway. All right, keep going, Chris.
Sahil says that they're from London, Ontario.
Okay.
Our dog Velvet passed away last Monday.
Ah.
How is she doing now? Where is she? Is she happy? Would she be okay with me adopting another dog? And thank you.
So only one question then. Well, first of all, those of you who know me know that I loved my puppies. So I'm going to ask Regal if he can briefly, because that, these questions take a long while to answer. So I'm going to ask Regal if he can just tell us briefly what's going on. But I love the name of Velvet. That's lovely. I've never heard that name for a puppy before. So nice. And so according to Gregor, she was very loyal to you guys, and it sounds like you were very loyal to Velvet. And do I want to say that? Okay, this sounds very weird, but apparently she's in the dog park having lots of fun and playing. Yes, I see my puppies from time to time. I see them actually quite often. I'm actually looking at, they look at you. Right. I'm seeing Kachura, and I'm seeing Nino and Rosie, and they're all how nice for me. Anyway, and then apparently they're not in the dog park. They've come today. They must have known you were going to ask that question, so they've taken the opportunity to let you know through me that our puppies, yes, our beloved pets do survive. And I'm told that she's happy. I'm told that Velvet is happy. I'm told that, sorry, I'm so busy with my puppies, I forgot for a minute. I'm just playing with them and not with you. I'm just sort of wanting to cuddle. Oh, my darling Nino. Oh, he's my beautiful boy. Anyway, and yes, and you too, and Kachoro too. They're like that. They're sort of still stuck at the hip. There are many. If we're not careful, it'll be a show all about my puppies coming and sitting in front of me and so on. Anyway, let's moving on from that. Right. So Yes, and of course, um, you should get another puppy. Of course, if when the time is right, when you feel the time is right. I actually feel that uh, we don't choose our dogs, they choose us. And I'm sure you know from that question that you asked that you know that that's true. So I think that there is definitely another puppy coming to you, beautiful and wonderful, and please enjoy. And just all of you out there who have lost your pets, and you were close to them and you wonder how they're doing. I'm told to tell you, I've got my lot here with me. Isn't that nice for me? I'm sure that many of you have your animals with you. You just perhaps don't see them, but pay attention. Remember, you've got to feel these things. You've got to, it's all about vibration and vibrational levels. And if you're on their vibrational level, you will feel them. Even if you can't see them, you will definitely feel them around you. Chris, before it gets to be a dog fest here.
I'm sitting here with tears rolling down my eyes, so happy that they're there visiting you. This is great.
Well, I was, I mean, I actually see Couture quite a lot. Um, I see Nino from time to time. Um, uh, Reese had a couple of years ago, Reese had a birthday party for his puppy. And I'm sitting there with him. I was in New York. I'm sitting there in the room, and then the next thing I see, the first dog I ever owned. If you can own a dog, he owned me more than I owned him. My first beautiful um, Alsatian Atlas, who I'm glimpsing here now, and
Nice.
his mate Minta, and then and on it goes. So and we were at this birthday party for a Reese's puppy Apache, and all of the dogs that I've ever owned and ever connected with were there at this party, and also Samantha's puppy Piper, who we bought for her, who I got for her when she was sick. And Piper was definitely her salvation. So, anyway, what can I tell you? Enough about Puppy Fest. That's it. We're done. Keep going.
All right, Mark is saying hello from the middle of the Atlantic Ocean on his way back to Miami on Sunday, and it's been quite a journey. I know we've been sending him hailing.
I'm hoping you're feeling better. From the email that I got, you were out of quarantine, thank goodness, and also making friends and having a good time. So, I'm sorry about the little hiccup with the sickness, but that's what happens when you travel. What do they call it? They call it whatever. It doesn't matter what they call it. Anyway, suddenly realized. But we eat different food. We're in a different country. We're not necessarily, we're susceptible to, different foods and so on, and things causing us problems. But you're back on your feet. So I'm pleased for that, and thank you for sending me the emails, and I hope you got my reply. Very positive. I was very proud of you, Mark. Very proud of you. Keep going, Chris.
Leslie, who we know is down in Apache country, Arizona, wrote, thank you, Rosemary and Gray Eagle. Things are looking up at the Round Valley Animal Rescue.
I have been sending out so many prayers, and I'd love to one day be able to visit. Of course, uh, you're calling it Apache country. It's one of my most favorite places. Of course, it was where Gray Eagle lived, and yeah, it's a very special place. So I'm thrilled, absolutely thrilled to bits that things are looking up. You see, we are trying, and we are sending you lots of prayers and so on. And I specifically said to Grey Eagle the other day, you know, can we can we just do some small thing to make things better for them? So I'm thrilled today that you're saying things are looking up. Keep us posted.
All right. Then Andrea is saying, good morning.
Good morning.
My son told me that he likes your voice.
Well, thank you. It's a bit gravelly this morning. I don't know why that is. I've been doing so much better, and for those of you who sort of follow, you know that I had a really rough summer, and really it was really awful, really tough. I was speaking to somebody yesterday who actually said to me, I've noticed that your voice is sounding so much better than it was a few months ago. And truthfully, yesterday it was sounding better. I don't know if can you hear it, Chris? It's a bit gravelly in there. I don't know why. But anyway, it's mostly we're mostly okay. And anyway, maybe that gravelly thing is sort of kind of sexy. I always when I ever had a cold when I was younger, and I had a cold, it would always go to my chest, and I would often lose my voice, or I would lose my voice in one way, and people always used to say to me, I love it when you've got a cold because you sound so sexy when you've got a cold. Anyway, thank you to your son. I'm glad he likes my voice when I'm singing, when I'm crooning, when I'm singing lullabies, or when I'm just sort of in that zone. My voice can be very soothing, and I use it for healing particularly. So thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. Keep going, Chris.
Dean is saying hello to all, and it's a joy to wake up each morning to a new day.
Thank you. Yay. Thank you, Dean. I appreciate that. You know what is a joy to me? See, I've been feeding my Christmas cake, and I opened it up the other day to give it another little feeding. And some of you are wondering, what is she talking about, feeding a cake? But I feed my cake for at least 6 to 8 weeks. And as I was sort of jabbing holes in it and then sort of gently pouring the brandy in there, I was thinking about you, Dean. And I know you said you're not making Christmas cake this year because you've got one in the freezer or something, or part of one in the freezer, but you're missing out. Let me tell you, you are missing out, because when I open up this Christmas cake up, it's all wrapped up in parchment and then foil, and then it's in a sort of solidly sealed plastic tub to keep all the moisture in. But when you open it up to feed it, the smell is phenomenal. So I'm loving feeding my Christmas cake. All right, keep going, Chris.
Annika says, I love butterflies. Shortly after my darling passed, I saw an unusual butterfly, and I am convinced it was a clear sign from him.
Without a doubt. This is what I try to say to people. Okay, so the Native Americans, they have a real affinity towards what they refer to as those tiny winged creatures, butterflies, dragonflies, or those tiny winged creatures, small birds, even the winged creatures that we may not, necessarily like. But what happens is that very often our loved ones in the spirit world will speak, maybe to the butterfly, or maybe to the little brown bird, or maybe to a dragonfly, and they will whisper in the ear of the butterfly or the dragonfly, and they will whisper, could you please, can you go see my beloved? Would you please let her or him know that I'm around? And often the spirit world will use these tiny winged creatures, which are very willing to be the messengers. So our tiny winged creatures can often be the messages from our loved ones, letting us know just by being there, or by sometimes they flutter around us. Sometimes they'll come tap at the window, whatever. But those tiny winged creatures that we take so much for granted, you can see, not me, but those tiny winged creatures are often the messengers from our loved ones in the spirit world to let us know we're here, we're thinking of you. So that's pretty neat. Chris.
Barb says, joy is in my children. Leslie says, my pets give me joy.
Yeah, I'm with you all.
Mikey says, my family and animals bring me joy.
Mikey, how's the little striped creature doing? Keep going, Chris.
Let's see. Rhonda says, I am joyful for where I live. I have a lake up the street to kayak on, mountains 20 minutes away. I can hike, and a path down the street I can walk every day that gives me great peace. And of course, it is my family.
Well, I'm waiting for my invitation, because this sounds to be an idyllic place to be. So,
I agree.
Just saying, I don't know where you are in the world, but hey, wouldn't it be nice, Chris, to have an invitation to a place like that? Although I have to put my hand up and say, although I have been in a kayak, I have kayaked a little bit. Is that right word, kayaked? Anyway, I have been kayaking a little bit. I don't think that I would be able to climb into a kayak right now, because my back, I might be able to climb in, but I'm not sure I'd ever be able to get out. So I could sit on the bank and watch and wave at you. We could take a nice picnic. I could cook you something that would be nice to eat when you get back from your kayaking. We can sit on the river and eat and talk and breathe in that mountain air. Sounds good to me. Chris.
Mark says, I've been thinking a great deal since I've had the time. Speaking of which, I know there's no time in the spirit world. And a question to Gray Eagle. When I pass from this plane, which will happen, do I confine growing in my present body, or am I reflected as a man in my late 20s, early 30s? He has a couple of other follow-ons.
Right. Okay. I wish we had time for all of that. There is time in the spirit world. Let me just give you a little correction there. There is time in the spirit world, but it's a very different kind of time. So and certainly not measured by a clock, I can tell you that. I've seen people, when people come to me in the spirit world, of course, I'm seeing them in their etheric body, in their spirit body, sort of the same shape and size and so on. Sometimes they will come to me in a way that shows me that they were ravaged through illness. But then before long, as we're talking, then I will see them well and healthy, which is completely different. I don't think it matters, honestly, whether we're young or old. I mean, if we didn't have mirrors and we didn't have things to reflect on, we would just be us, wouldn't we? And I think that that's the most important thing. We're just going to be us. I'm sort of getting old and wrinkly and saggy. So, like, I'm sounding like I'm, sort of falling apart in one or two ways. The truth is, I've been falling apart since I was 19 years old when my kidney issue first started. So to me, I'm just used to it. But of course, we don't want to, think about keeping the wrinkles. If we could get rid of them, wouldn't that be nice? And all the saggy bits and getting fatter and so on and on it goes. But the truth of the matter is that whatever it is we are on the outside of us, what matters is what is within us. And it is that which is within us that we take with us as we travel to the spirit world in our etheric body. That's the best I can do for now. Great. You see, all of these things, we're going to be talking about these things, and we're going to be bringing things up. We're going to be delving more into these things when we do our, what are we calling it?
Subscription program?
When we do the subscription program, where Rosemary and Great Eagle, definitely, it's so great, and it's such a privilege to be able to know things that, perhaps we would never know otherwise. Anyway, keep going.
Andrea says, I told my mother about our conversation and told her to look out for butterflies. The next day, she said she saw a white butterfly on the 1st of November in Hungary.
Don't you love it? I love it. I love it. I bet your mother loved it too. Keep going, Chris.
Karen saying hello from the UK.
Hi, Karen from the UK.
Annika says, among other things, my little dog gives me joy. Giving my patients some relief with my touch and music gives me joy too.
Me too.
Mark says
And actually talking music, Chris and I are going to a musical, I don't even know what it's called. Let's say it's a concert. And I'm not sure that Chris has ever been to a classical music concert. We'll use the word concert. I don't think it's quite right, concert. But anyway, I don't think you've ever been to a classical. They've got Rachmaninoff. I think it's mostly piano. They've got Rachmaninoff and they've got Tchaikovsky. And I'm keeping my fingers crossed that Chris is going to stay awake. She'll definitely stay awake during the Rachmaninoff because, powerful stuff. But I think it's your first time of experiencing, other than Reese and listening to my grandson playing, because my grandson is very, very much into classical music right now. I'm sort of trying to veer him into jazz and blues as well. He'll get there as he gets older, but he's very much into the classics right now, and he's fascinated by he and I call him Chopin. We know it's really Chopin. We know, and we love to butcher the names. We call Beethoven because that's how it's spelled. We giggle over these things, but he's very much into classical music. So we are going with friends on tomorrow night, actually, to a classical rendition of Tchaikovsky and Rachmaninoff, and I can't remember who. There's a third one. I can't remember who, but anyway, I'm hoping I'm not going to have to be prodding Chris to stay awake. I know I'm going to love it, but anyway. So music is certainly something to be joyful of. Yes, Chris.
All right. So Mark says, my joy is waking each day, loving and embracing my life, and create as much joy that is allowed, and not to drop any negative levels for what does it give you in the end.
Yeah, what does negativity give you? I'll tell you what negativity gives you in the end. If only I could speak. Negativity gives you negativity, which gives you more negativity, which gives you more negativity. So what's the point? we're being positive and joyful. And, we all have those moments of negativity. We all have those moments of, oh, I was going to have that for supper, but look what happened to it. It's ruined. We all have those moments of wishing that we had partners who we could relate to, or partners who could relate to us. We all have those moments of negativity in our lives. It's part of life. But being positive and ensuring that we don't go down that path of negativity is very, very important, because if we continue, and it's not because we're pushed there by anyone else, it's our choice. If we allow ourselves to be pushed into a negative situation, if we allow ourselves to succumb to the negativity, then there is only ever more and more and more negativity, and I certainly don't want that. We're joyful today. I'm joyful every day. For one reason or another, I can think, oh, you should have seen me the other day. I lost something really important, a really, really important document. I've had out every cupboard, every drawer. My house looks like a paper mill must look like. It is crazy, but I was determined, and I was determined not to get too down about it. And then eventually, yes, I know you're all saying, couldn't you just have asked Grey Eagle? But sometimes he just, why would he help me? If I were to smooth your path and leave no wrinkles, where would your learning process be? He would say to me. But anyway, he did eventually help me to find it. So that was good. Keep going, Chris.
Ornella's saying, it's nice to see you. A young man took his own life a month ago. I know he is lovingly cared for by the spirit world. I remember him fondly. A message from him? Thank you.
I can only give you a message from Grey Eagle because we have, time is running out for us. And thank you, Ornella, for telling us this story. I can only give you a message from Grey Eagle, and the message is he is in the hands of his angels and is recovering slowly. So that's good news. Chris.
Rhonda says, I'm grateful for my husband's strength through his cancer treatments. Wow, I have so much to be grateful for.
Like me, I love it. I love it. I love it when people are so positive and so, and look at what you're going through. Look at what your husband is going through, and to be able to be so positive, it empowers you, doesn't it? It really empowers you to just keep going and to keep moving forward and to be grateful for every small mercy that is brought to us each day. Chris.
Lorna is saying hello from Ireland.
Hi, Lorna.
Judith says, knowing my family is alive and glorious on, quote, the other side, yes. Some in my family have lovingly shown themselves to me. What glorious joy. Also, my cats bring fun and warmth into my life.
I bet they do too. I bet they do. My grandson, I have to be honest with you, is not enamored of cats. He had a friend who he went to visit. This is at least 3 or 4 years ago. And the cat I can't tell you whether the cat liked Reese or whether the cat did not like Reese, but Reese did not like being clawed and scratched by the cat, who seemed to pounce on him and just thoroughly. When cats knead themselves on him when they put their needly claws in you. Reese was not enamored with cats, and he's so, whenever anyone talks about cats now, he just talks about that memory and turns his nose up. He likes to cuddle his puppy, and they go to bed together every night, and It's so funny because there are always two heads on the pillow. The puppy, wherever Reese is, the puppy is, which is kind of cute. Keep going, Chris.
Sophie says, I haven't seen you in a while and I hope all is well.
Yes, Sophia. Well, I've been here, although the summer was rough for me. I was sick a lot. My voice is going. Excuse me. Let me just take a little glass of water here. Okay, so I was sick. I couldn't seem to breathe properly. The air in New York was killing me. Anyway, here we are. I'm back in Florida and getting better and better every day. So thank you. And as you can see, I'm well. I'm doing good. Chris.
Sophie continued, I always wondered who my guardian angel is because I don't have much family.
Unfortunately, Sophie, we need much more time for that than we have here today. I know that a lot of people like to go for consultations to find out. I can remember many, many years ago, I was in England and I had a lady call me from California. That was before the days of video. But one of the questions, the most important one, perhaps the most important question she asked was, can you tell me who my angel is? And you can read that story in whichever book it's in. I can't remember which book I wrote that story in, but boy, oh boy, did that angel show itself or herself to me by coming into my sitting room and actually showing me her wings. Yes. Chris.
All right. The next one is from Serena. And she says, I would like to understand if my mom is trying to send me signs from the other side. Is she looking at me?
I would say, Serena, most definitely. I'm asking Grey Eagle. Feathers are always a great indication when you're asking me this question, and my power symbol happens to be an eagle feather, and feathers abound wherever I am. And maybe because you're asking this question of me, I think maybe you should watch for feathers. So I think she's definitely sending you signs, and she's definitely with you. Excuse me.
Rhonda, who was had the lovely mountains and river near her, responded back. She's in Westminster, Colorado, 15 minutes from Boulder.
Oh,
she said, I take picnics all the time to the lake. You can visit anytime, maybe this summer.
well, I have a very good friend who lives in Boulder, Colorado, and my wonderful co-host Al, who, if you watch Cracking Up, he obviously lives quite close to where you are. Maybe you could get together with him. Wouldn't that be fine? But he, I'm sure that if I were to ever visit him, I could visit you at the same time. How about that? Let's keep in touch with that one. It's been a while since I've been to Boulder. It's been a while since I've been to Colorado. Colorado has the biggest sky. It has a huge, I know. The sky is big for everybody, I know. But when you're in Colorado, and you're in certain places in Colorado, especially if you're sort of higher up in the mountains, the sky is so vast, it's so huge. And I remember being there one time when this enormous sky was so filled with stars. It's such a magical place to be. So I'd love to go back. Chris.
Karen is asking, do you have any messages for me? I'm trying to work on a way to earn some money that's new to me. Do you see it being successful for me?
I think, okay. So you have a message from Grey Eagle here. Oh, you're not going to like this, but I promise you it's going to pay off. patience, 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 because I think you're being tested, because I think you're in a situation where you're sort of, it's a little bit alien to you, but you can do it. I'm told to tell you from Grey Eagle, you can do it, and eventually good things will come from it. So I hate it when Grey Eagle says patience to me. I hate it, but anyway, patience, patience, patience to you. Chris.
Andrea would like to know, does your grandson also have your abilities? Can he see the spirit world?
Yes, and my daughter also, not so much as me, but my daughter has often seen my father, her silly grandpa, who I think he showed my daughter all of the love and all of the joy that he was never able to show me when I was a little girl. So he kind of, sort of, Samantha got everything that he wanted or would have liked to have given to me, but was not able to. He gave to her. So they're very, very close, and she does see him from time to time, and she talks to him from time to time. And yes, uh, um, Reese, whenever he has a concert coming up, whenever he has to do something at school, whenever he has, something going on, he'll say to me, can you ask can you ask silly grandpa, can you ask Grey Eagle, can you ask them to be with me? And they're always there with him, and he feels them around him. I think he occasionally sees them, but he feels them around him, and he trusts, without a doubt, he has 1,000% trust that they are there and that they are with him. Definitely. Chris.
Judith is saying Halloween with you, Rosemary, was great fun.
It was. I don't think I wore my witch's hat. Chris bought me a witch's hat. I'm not sure that that's a good thing or a bad thing. But if I were a witch, which I'm actually not, but if I were a witch, I'm absolutely sure that I would be a good witch and not a bad witch. I wouldn't be that awful witch that puts kids in the ovens and bakes them, cooks them, and eats them. Or would I? Or would I? I am a cook after all, Anyway, keep going, Chris.
Mark says, I have a question, if so permitted. I ask if you could invite Jesus for a brief moment. Two things have happened to me on both cruises recently. Aboard one ship, I found a tiny rubber Jesus in a green sash. Then on my current cruise, I found another Jesus with a blue wrap. Can Jesus share what his message is or what it means? I'm
Well,
very intrigued.
I think it's really, Mark, I think it's very clear to you. I found them. Do you think that, well, of course, if you believe in coincidence, then you would not know what the meaning is. Don't you think that you're being given a message? Don't you think that he is showing you that he's with you? My goodness, you don't need me to explain that. Chris.
Christina says, hello to you, Rosemary.
Hi.
And my grandfather, Pasquale, and my friend Goosey, how are they? And my dad, Rufo, is he close to me? Do they want to tell me something?
Yes, I think you should book a consultation, is what I think you should do. You've got a whole family, give them an opportunity if you can to, to talk to you through a consultation. I think that would be the advice. I'm sure they're all there and I'm sure they're with you and waiting. But, if you really want to know more about this, we've got less than 10 minutes left of this show. Could you imagine if everybody, and everybody does want the same thing, and everybody does want to ask the same question, I can assure you, but unfortunately this show is an hour long and we take as many questions as we can. So I think you might want to think about a consultation, and that way you can have enough time to talk to them and be with them. And if there's anybody listening who's had a consultation with me, maybe you could give a little shout out to what that means and how amazing it can be to connect with your loved ones through that method.
Let's see. Dean says, I am not missing out with my Christmas cake. I place a piece on a plate and pour more brandy on it before eating it.
Well, for those of you who don't quite know what Dean means, is I gave him my Christmas cake recipe, which he made, but he decided when he made it that maybe it needed a little bit more brandy, and then maybe a little bit more, and a little, and I think he ended up putting about 3 times the amount of brandy in the cake that the recipe calls for. But he told me it was delicious, and who am I to argue, because I'm sure it was delicious. But the idea that you're now putting more brandy on it, you know, it's, I tell you, you know, the best way to eat Christmas cake is to have weirdly, I'm going to say this weirdly, best way to eat Christmas cake in my view is to find the sharpest and the most delicious and powerful cheese, a nice, good, really, really old aged cheddar is good, and a little bit of cheese, a little bit of fruit cake. Oh, yummy, yummy. That's a really good way to eat. But more brandy works too, and also, you know, the dollops of cream on it work also. So anyway, keep going, Chris.
Annika's asking, do people in the spirit world who had a consultation with you before passing ever come to you to say hello or thank you for making their passing easier?
They do, and I'm not sure if his family are listening at the moment, but Alan Poskett comes to mind. Alan Poskett, when I was in England, he would come to me at least twice a year. If I let him, he probably would have slept on the doorstep. And fairly recently, the last couple of years, I think, we became great friends. He was a really great guy, lovely guy. He was a farmer, and anyway, fairly recently, his daughter, who also used to come to me for consultations, came to me for another consultation because Alan has since passed into something. I can see him looking at me, smiling at me right now, waving at me right now. How nice is that? So anyway, so we have Alan Poskett here with us, everybody, waving at me furiously. And yes, it's it very often happens. It's you know, the people who have, I mean, Alan was, I would say, was my biggest fan. He would come to me as often as I would let him. You know, he was always fascinated by my subject. And we had some great times. And then his daughter came to me for a consultation, as I've said, fairly recently. And I'm thinking, you know, I didn't know it was her. I didn't know that she was coming for the consultation, but just prior to connecting with her, I keep seeing this man who I think, I know you. You're familiar to me. Wait a minute. Is that Alan? And yes, they do. Chris.
All right. Well, we're right at time. Mikey says, mine were amazing. I have got to talk to my mom and learn about my dad. He was not in my life much. And I get advice from Rosemary too. I love to visit with Rosemary once a year. Rosemary is a blessing.
Thank you, darling. Thank you so much. All right. I think that's it, Chris. We are done for the day. Thank you we've had a lot of people joining us today. Thank you, everyone, for your questions. Even for those of you who didn't get a question in, or were too shy, or just wanted to listen in and not necessarily have a question, thank you so much for joining us, everybody. We shall be back next Thursday, but keep tabs on us because we are doing all sorts of, things, and we're trying to get the subscription program off the ground, and we're trying to sort of fit in so many different things. We're juggling so many different things, but that's an exciting thing because the spirit world always has things to say to us. They always have things to teach us, and they always have ways of inspiring us. So please, everybody, thank you for joining us. um, have a very blessed and very joyful day. Have a very blessed and joyful rest of the weekend. We shall see you back here hopefully next Thursday. And in the meantime, we'll be up to other tricks as well. We'll be doing other things as well. So just keep popping in and making sure that you're on board with us. If you want to have a newsletter, I promise you, we only send one out a month. If you want the newsletter, it'll be, you can get the newsletter once a month. It's just a brief few words from me, and then, whatever's going on, Chris will write in whatever events are coming up and so on. So, all you have to do is email Rosemary at rosemaryaltea.com. Very simple and easy. Put in your subject line newsletter, say, please, can you send me one? And we will automatically put you on the list, and then you'll have a newsletter all of your own to read. All right, so everyone, please have a very, very blessed and joyful rest of the day, and a very blessed weekend, everybody.